There's Big Sean and his possible connection to the Illuminati.
How Jay-Z has overcome some of the greatest obstacles, and some pretty candid looks at what drugs can do to a family.
All of this on today's most amazing top 10 list. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have Blessings by Big Sean featuring Drake and Kanye West. At a first glance, this song is just a moment where all the rappers can take a step back and reflect on being grateful for everything they have and everything that they have achieved. But we really get the hidden dark message when we watch the music video for the song. In the video, there are a lot of Illuminati references and symbolism. Whether or not you think that this is their admission to being a part of the Illuminati is up to you, but let me show you the imagery that I'm talking about. The video starts off with Big Sean walking on clouds, and then he begins confessing to a priest who is played by himself. This is a reflection of one of the most prevalent principles of the Illuminati, that they are all gods. To push this even further, Drake flashes the 666 hand, which shows his approval of the Antichrist. We then see Big Sean on a staircase, which is homage to the Freemasonry's Jacob's Ladder, and his arms are also stretched out, which is to mimic Jesus on the cross. It is no shock to us as listeners that these guys are full of themselves, but it is kind of shocking to see just how much.
Coming at number 9, we have Stan by Eminem. I mean, right off the bat, we know that Stan is a pretty controversial song. It's about a superfan who loses his mind and gives everything up to try and get closer to Eminem. This guy abuses his girlfriend, follows Eminem from show to show, and writes him letters non-stop to try and get his attention. The term Stan has stemmed from this song. For those of you who don't know, that means when you support something wholeheartedly. Now, even though there are the very obvious signs that this song is dark, with the Stan superfan dying at the end of the song, there is a part in the music video where Stan puts his pregnant girlfriend into the trunk of the car. Now, some people think that this is reference to Eminem's song Kim, where he raps about doing the same thing to his ex-girlfriend. People think that with multiple references from songs that this might have actually happened in real life, or it could just have been a dark fantasy. And guys, make sure that you like this video, it really helps us out.
Coming in at number 8, we have Kings Never Die by Eminem. It is pretty unsurprising that Eminem has 2 tracks that made it onto this list. In the song, he talks about his anger towards other whack rappers, critics, and ignorant fans who spew hate when they don't really know what they're talking about. But at one point in the song, he talks about how he would sell his soul to the devil in order to remain on top of the rap game. He then goes on to discuss, while he loves rap and the music, he hates fame and how he has had to make a lot of personal sacrifices in his life because of it. It is his passion and the only thing he's done for the last 30 years, so it can't be easy to just quit and leave the game altogether.
Coming in number 7, we have Changes by TUPAC, one of the greatest hits to come from one of the greatest artists of all time. Changes is a song that highlights the struggle of growing up black in America, growing up in a world where you come out of the womb poor, your parents barely have enough money to buy you anything, and you have to rob and steal just to eat. About how racism towards you will keep pushing you down and how hard it is to get out of the ruthless cycle. In the song, he says, "I wake up in the morning and ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?" Honestly, this is one of the first public figures in the black community to start openly talking about mental health. And the song is about how things never change and about how the system is made to keep you in the same spot and keep the struggle real.
In our number 6 spot today, we've got Kill Jay-Z, which is surprisingly by Jay-Z. This is the first song on the album 444. The song is mostly about the killing of his ego and a reflection on his past mistakes and how he handled them, but there are a few dark moments hidden in this song. One is right at the beginning when he talks about shooting his drug-addicted brother when he was only 12 years old for stealing his jewelry. Luckily, his brother was fine and didn't end up pressing charges, but it's really sad that he was in this situation to begin with. Jay-Z also talks about his father leaving his family at a young age and how that hurt him, and he had to build up a wall in order to protect himself from feeling that kind of hurt again. But now, as an adult, he's had to work on tearing down those walls in order to be there and be vulnerable for his own children. He then goes on to talk about a moment from 1999. On December 2nd of that year, Jay was at a release party for Q-Tip's debut album, Amplified. Before the party, there was bootleg copies of Jay-Z's upcoming album floating all throughout the hip-hop world. At the party was Lance Rivera, who was a music producer, and it was rumored that he may have had something to do with the leak of Jay's new album. After a confrontation at the party quickly turned into a physical altercation, Jay-Z ended up stabbing Lance. He later turned himself in, and while he was facing a possible 15-year sentence, he ended up with only 3 years of probation.
Coming in number 5, we have Kendrick Lamar's Swimming Pool. Some people think that the song Swimming Pools could be about someone losing their mind. I always thought that was just about getting lit and having a good time. But in the music video of the song, we see a bunch of bottles fall from the sky and shatter on the ground. Now, this wasn't the boys celebrating because they just smashed another 26er, but apparently this is supposed to represent someone's mind breaking. There's also a line where he says, "Now open up your mind and listen." This could be showcasing someone with schizophrenia being communicated with from someone inside their own mind.
In our number 4 spot today, we have D-Rugs by Cam'ron. This song is about children whose parents choose a life of drugs over them. The song starts off with Cam'ron just speaking the intro, and he says, "Remember parents, kids don't ask to be born," which is a really strong but sad start to what is a dark song with an important message. In the song, he refers to the drugs as a girlfriend or boyfriend that the parents are choosing. He talks about his mom being addicted to cocaine and seeing her do the drugs and watching her addiction and dependence grow. It's really sad to think about how many children have to witness this sort of thing. Seeing your parent constantly in this kind of altered state and feeling helpless. Cam'ron then goes on to talk about how, with his mother's boyfriend always being around, he started to get acquainted with the drugs as well and goes on to begin selling. In the third verse, he talks about his mom being jealous of his relationship with the drugs and how he gains money from it while she pays to see him. The song ends with him explaining that his mom had to be hospitalized because of an overdose and that they both ended up arrested. The last line of the rap is, "But that's what we get, fucking with drugs," which I think ends it off pretty perfectly.
Coming in at number 3, we have Nicki Minaj, Only. Now it's time to step out of the lyrical speculations and into symbolism. It's no surprise that people have linked the Illuminati to the rap game. There are a ton of people who think that the music video for Only is about the Illuminati using mind control devices on people, that they have the perfect technology that allows them to take over people's minds, and that they will be using it to crack into our subconscious and suck out your soul, morphing you into a new person. This comes from the people trapped in nets in the music video, the 2 pillars standing on either side of Chris Brown that are supposed to represent light and darkness, and the butterfly in the music video that is a symbol of change, when someone morphs from their normal self into a mind-controlled being. The only thing I don't get about this is if I was in the Illuminati, why would I put hints in rap music videos? Shouldn't I just keep all my plans secret and keep taking over the world?
At number 2 on the list today, we have A Baltimore Love Thing by 50 Cent. We all know 50 Cent as the rapper who famously got shot 9 times, but in this 2005 track, he really hits us with a harsh reality. After a first listen, this song sounds like a love song, but it is really 50 rapping from the point of view of the world's most addictive drug, heroin. Heroin is very ingrained in the world of entertainment, but it is just as ingrained in the heroin capital of the United States, Baltimore, Maryland. One of the harshest lines in the song is, "If you give birth, I'll already be in love with your kids." This is in reference to the fact that if a mother is doing heroin during pregnancy, not only is there a chance that she could lose the pregnancy, but there is also a chance that the baby will be born with the drugs in their system, causing them to have to go through a very painful withdrawal. Near the end of the song he says, "And we'll be hand in hand when we walk through those pearly gates, and to see to that, I'ma do whatever it takes." This is 50's way of describing how the drug will do everything to take over your life until it ultimately leads to your death.
And coming at the number 1 spot, we have Kevin Gates XXL 2014 CYPHER. In this song, Kevin Gates says, "Killed my brother, so I took him from his family. When I got some tears tattooed on my face, now I'm branded." You might have let this one slip by you, but apparently Kevin Gates' brother was killed by a gang member, and he wasn't going to take this lying down. Gates found the guy who took his brother's life and took him out himself. He wasn't going to wait for the police to get involved. This was personal. The tattoos on his face represent that he committed murder, and some people think think that he could be affiliated with some gangs. That is a bold move to put that into a song. This guy is really putting everything out in the open. Didn't Bobby Shmurda go to jail for the exact same thing? Maybe this is past the statute of limitations. I'm not really sure how the law works. I didn't know you could use rap lyrics to put someone in jail, but apparently that's something that can totally happen. Alright guys, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Trey Dorena.
I've been Olivia Kozlowski.
Bye.